Why is the mob prince mopping floors?
Oh, Spinelli, you cannot tell Lulu about this.
What took you so...
The orderly job at GH was the last respectable position I had, and I couldn't even get that. I hated to lie to Lulu about that, you know?
Well, I fear that cleaning the sullied saloon is not a solution. I'm sure Lulu would understand if you would just disclose to her the lack of jobs available.
Lulu's got enough to worry about, Spinelli. She already takes enough crap from her brothers about being with me. The last thing I want for her is to have to lie about what I do. I'll find something.
Leia! Dude, I can't afford to pay both.
No, fear not. See, that Mr. Jackal does not work for filthy lucre. Instead, he toils in gratia. I am forever indebted to the unlikely friend for shielding this shamed felon from a pack of Russian evildoers.
Dude, you need to work. You know, you need to work on translating what comes out of your mouth, okay?
Hey, consider the death hate, Spinelli.
You know, perhaps the Jackal can offer more than this physical recompense. I'm not sure you're aware of the Jackal's financial status, but Stone Cold is a very generous employer, and I would be more than happy to extend the hand of friendship, that hand being full of green.
I can't take your money, Spinelli.
Well, then consider it a loan to be repaid when your fortunes improve.
Okay, look, it's a very generous offer, but it goes against what I'm doing. Okay, I gotta make it on my own without that kind of help.
I know.
The reason I left my father's house was to get out of the mob. All that power and easy money, it's just not worth it.
So, the Reformed Mob Prince is saying that if you were to borrow funds from the Jackal, funds whose origins are mob-related, that in your thinking, the very act of borrowing would compromise your principles?
Yeah, you got it.
Well, not to point out the obvious, but Stone Cold's methods vastly differ from that of your demented dad, so any money from the Jackal would, in fact, be untainted.
Spinelli, look, it's a generous offer, and you're a good guy, but Jason is a mob enforcer. Your money comes directly from him. It pretty much defines tainted.
Yeah, but you can't deny that Stone Cold works by a code. I mean, yes, he is a mob boss, but he's an honorable mob boss.
Okay, Jason makes a living by breaking the law. He employs people who break the law, and he kills anyone who would get in his way. Look, Spinelli, it's all the same. If I'm gonna take mob money, I might as well go back to my father. Solve a lot of problems.
I'm sorry, are you suggesting that you might return to the ways of your sinister clan?
My father uses me as his excuse for all the terrible things he does. The last thing I want to do is move out back to that house. Of course, I don't really have much of a future in mopping floors anyway.
I have an idea of Newtonian brilliance. The ace of cyberspace will teach the reformed one the glories of computer science. Such knowledge can lead to a host of jobs from, yes, the mundane, but also the severely awesome.
Okay, maybe I will take you up on that, Spinelli, sometime, but, I mean, I gotta focus on getting a paycheck ASAP. I can't keep lying to Lulu about a job that I don't have.
Spinelli, there you are. I don't see why we had to... Hey! Lulu told me that you were working. I thought you got a job at the hospital.
I lied. Hey, but, Maxie, you can't tell Lulu about this, okay?
Yeah, whatever, but why would... Never mind. I lie all the time.
Thanks, Maxie. I owe you.
Whatever. Hey, Johnny, any lie you tell, no matter how necessary it seems at the moment, always potentially can come back and bite you in the butt.
I'll make this really simple. Well, the Wi-Fi connection is remarkably strong. But perhaps I shouldn't share with Mr. Coleman that my previous work locations both went up in flames.
I can keep a secret.
And to that end, rest assured that Fair Maximista will maintain the utmost discretion.
What, Maxie?
Yes, she's well known for her impulsive tendencies, but she is also trustworthy beyond reproach.
Well, whatever happens, happens.
You seem rather sanguine.
Just saying, there are worse things that Lulu could know about me than lying to her about a job.
Wait a second. It is well known that Fair Lulu and her beloved are soulmates, inseparable.
Okay, I'm not cheating on Lulu if that's where you're going with this, Spinelli. I couldn't. I love her too much, and I hope she loves me back.
Oh, without question, Fair Lulu's attachment to you is deep and heartfelt.
Yeah, well, There are things about me, things that I've done that she doesn't know about.
Every man has his inner demons.
Yeah.
What kind of things?
Things that she could never forgive me for, Spinelli. Look, you don't grow up in a mob family without doing things you regret.